chine is the intersection of the bottom and sides of a flat or V-bottom boat.
Well, we welcome Chris from Northside Marine Insurance today on board the open tiller steer dinghy. Chris, insurance on this sort of boat, what sort of things would be a benefit?
Well, probably taking that a little bit further, Matt, one of the things that I think a lot of people need to remember about this style of boat is that it's designed to be able to be treated with, for want of a better phrase, a little bit of abuse. So we know that most people who are going to have this type of vessel are either new to boating or they just go out and enjoy boating on their own. So really what they should be making sure is that their insurance company is going to cover them for if they do have that accidental running aground, if they do have the motor hit a sandbank.
Yep.
These things do happen. When you're putting your boat back onto the trailer, making sure that you are covered if you do hit the pontoons. And the good thing about having something this small is that you can make it quite cheap to insure it. There's a lot of avenues that you can reduce the premium because the boat's probably not worth a great deal of money. Well, you probably don't want to pay an insurance premium that someone who's got a much bigger boat's going to pay. So there's a lot of avenues you can explore with your insurance to make sure that you're getting the exact policy you want. So,
in summary of what you've just said then, in light of that, these boats are targeted towards the beginner boatie, or there's someone that's going to use their boat a bit if it's optioned up a bit like this. But let's look at it from the perspective of a new boat buyer. You know, their first foray into boating, it's a 4.3 metre tinnie with a 30 on the back of it. They're about, they're not a lot of money compared to what else is on the market. But the chances then of being a beginner, of having an issue, are probably greater than someone with a bit of experience.
That's right.
So it really does highlight the fact that if you are going to buy your first boat, the chances of a bit of a mishap or just that may happen, but a good insurance policy,
they're going to make sure that they're supporting you.
That's it. That's great.
So what if you're not a pro rider? What if you want to just enjoy having fun on the water without taking it to extremes? Well, let's show you some of the ways the guys do it here on the Pine River. Apart from using a smaller wake to do smaller aerial tricks, you can also give wake surfing a go. Loading up the boat on one side with ballast allows the boat to form a barrel-style wave from whichever side you've loaded. You can also throw a tube or biscuit out the back for a super fun ride where the only thing you need to do is hold on. With a smaller wake, less ballast and shorter rope, you can still hit the water hard, but still ride to your ability. It's about having fun, not being terrified. So if the setup isn't right for you, change it. A great way to build confidence behind the boat is to try carving the wake. Approach the wake toe side, then lean back into your heel side to cut into the water. Keep the handle close to your leading hip or hip closest to the boat. And remember, if at first you don't succeed, try again. Chris talks us through the basics of getting up behind the boat.
Mate, pretty much just want to make sure when you come out of the water you keep your arms reasonably straight, don't pull them real hard in. Suck your legs up underneath so sort of sit your bum on the board. And then just let the boat pull you up out of the water. Don't struggle with it too much and don't push your legs away from you. Just let it kind of glide. The board's wide enough to pop you up on top of the water. Once you feel it pop up on top, the board will find its own direction. You just stay pretty bent kneed. Keep your arms fairly straight. Pull that handle to your hip. As soon as you pull it to your hip, what will happen is it'll pull you square along the axis of the board. So you won't end up with a situation where you've got it out in front of you and you catch your front edge or reverse heel edge. So yeah, pretty much that's what you do when you get out of the water. It just glides out. The boards are so wide, they just slide up pretty easy. So once you got it once, you'll do it every time. It's like riding a bike. Can't even forget almost. So yeah, we'll give it a bit of a go, see if we can do a bit of beginner riding. So let's see.
Lauren's got a few questions for Chris about the Wakesetter we've been using today.
We're here with Chris from Northside Marine and he's going to talk us through some of the features of the boat we're on today.
Hi everyone, we're out on the water today in the Malibu VLX. It's a 2012 Wakesetter. This boat's a 21'6" boat. We've been out today and we've been doing some wakeboarding with some of the guys and some wake surfing as well. It's a fantastic boat to fit a volume of people on. The boat actually holds 14 people. We have subfloor ballast in this boat. We've got 4 ballast tanks actually in this one. This one's had an additional ballast tank put in the front. We have a thing called the power wedge, and we have Malibu dash as well with rider controls. So we're able to tune the boat basically to any rider that we want to ride. So we've done some intermediate riders today, we've done some beginner riding, we've done some advanced riding. And it's simply a matter of pushing a button on the dash and the boat will set the ballast and the wedge and the speed for us. And it basically, as we put the throttle down, it takes over, puts itself into cruise control and sets our power wedge and shapes our wake up. So it's a very easy boat to use, and it's quite a good boat as a social boat. You're able to adapt to any sort of rider style. And then, as I say, we've done some wake surfing as well, so it's a very adaptable boat. It's just a fantastic boat to be out on the water on. So this particular model holds 14 people, so 14 adults. So it's a great social boat. You know, the beauty of these boats is we're using it for wakeboarding today, but we go out quite often just as a social group, and we'll do things like we'll go for a cruise up the Brisbane River with our friends at night. We'll go, you know, down to the Gold Coast. We'll go up the Sunshine Coast. So it's fantastic. You know, you can go down the Broadwater there. They're quite big boats, and they're very good boats just in general water conditions. You know, they're not an offshore boat or anything like that, but for us doing what we do as sports boat people and generally cruising around with friends and family and having a great time out on the water, they're absolutely fantastic. There's plenty of space, as you can see. You don't have to sit on top of each other. They're very quiet to run around in. And yeah, pretty much anybody who's got a license can easily drive the boat. It's a very, very easy boat to control. It's very nice on the steering and the shift and throttle. So yeah, it's just a fantastic thing to go out there and have fun with, and you know, it adapts really well. And as I say, you can go from, you know, just cruising around, and then you decide you want to go for a bit of a ski or a wakeboard. Hey, the boat's there to do it, you know.
Awesome, so it can be quite a party boat as well.
Sure can, yeah, we do. We've done New Year's Eve parties even down the Gold Coast on the boat. So, yeah, they're fantastic for all those sorts of situations. You know, you can go out and basically you can get out on the water and just have a great time, you know, with your friends and cruise around and yeah, go pretty much wherever you want. And, you know, in the local, we've got such good local river systems, dams, you know, waterways in general, you know, and they're beautiful and clean and they're really nice surroundings. So, yeah, why not? Let's get out there and use them.
Cool. So what makes this beast go?
Okay, so this boat's powered with what's called a Idmar 350 monsoon engine. So it's a 5.7 litre engine, produces 350 horsepower. This is actually quite a clean engine. This actually has what's called catalytic converter manifolds on it. They call them X-Cats. That's fantastic because it burns off any unwanted fuel effectively that goes out the exhaust system, so it's very, very good for the environment. It's also really good because we don't get any fumes coming up the back of the boat, so when we are doing things like wake surfing and things like that, we really don't have a lot of noxious fumes around the back of the boat. I've also had this boat fitted with some things from factory that are called hydroquiet tips, and they mix a lot of water into the exhaust and drop it straight down in the back of the boat, so we don't have the fumes basically being pulled up the transom. So it's a very, very clean boat, and also makes it very, very quiet, and as I said, very environmentally friendly. So it's a lovely unit that they fit into their boats. You know, it's like going forward 10 years in technology from what we had even a couple of years ago. So it's fantastic to see, you know, the boat's improving as much as anything else, and you know, we're looking after the environment that we're playing around in. So it's great.
Oh.
So, what makes a great towing spot? And are there places where you can't legally tow? The best place to start is the SEQ Water website. They have up-to-date information about Queensland waterways, boat limits, general rules and regulations for on-water safety. Once you've found the spot that suits, it's time to pack accordingly. Make sure you have enough life jackets on board for everyone and that they're clearly labelled if not readily seen. Do your research, go online and read up on the area. People who know the area and love the sport are more than happy to share their local knowledge and point out great spots or things to be wary of. Before you go out, make sure that your boat has all the required equipment. Check your trailer, engine, fuel system and electricals. Don't forget that the boat must have current registration. Regular servicing of your boat and its trailer will go a long way to avoiding problems on the water. After all, who wants to waste their day? Also ensure that your boat has the correct size engine and is not overloaded with passengers or gear. Boats built since 2006 will have an Australian builder's plate, which contains information on maximum engine power rating and maximum load and person capacity. Overloading or overpowering a boat creates a hazard, not only for the occupants, but also for other waterway users. Both the driver and observer must not be under the influence of alcohol or drugs. This applies to the person being towed too. For more information, go to www.seqwater.com.au or www.marineqld.com.au or ask the experts on the Boat Show website and our Facebook page. Later we were joined by Matt Bradley as the skies grew darker and darker. As the storm rolled in and the rain poured down, it was time to call it a day.